Hey Clem, what have you got
Hey,
planned for
Krishla.
Christmas?
That's a great question, Krishla. I only really started thinking about it yesterday. And, um, like I was saying to you off air, I have got a list or a plan. And the title of the plan is How the F Am I Going to Take an Actual Christmas Break?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I just listed what I need to do to be able to take that Christmas break.
Is it a really long list?
It's one page at the moment
Okay.
because I think it's a good one page because I know that there's going to be half the things, like you said, like coming up to Christmas Eve or whatever, that you're just going to cross off and be like, this was
Yeah.
not necessary. It was nice to do, but it's okay if it hasn't been done.
It's
But
the best way to prioritize, right?
yeah,
As you get closer
exactly.
to the deadline,
Exactly. But
cross it
like
off, cross it
the
off.
big thing that's in bold that is highlighted on top of that list is to step away from the phone and turn off the computer for a good few days between Christmas Eve at 12 noon, which is when I have every intention of shutting off and having a glass of bubbles
Mm-hmm.
and, some party pies and sausage rolls and those mini quiches and stuff. For anyone who doesn't know what party pies is, it's a mini hot meat pie. Like it's like tradition in Australia, I think, to have party pies the day before. Anyway,
Well, no, like
is it?
mince pies as in fruit mince
Fruit mints, yes, but
is the
then
tradition.
is the tradition. Meat
I don't know.
pie, fruit mince pie, whatever.
No, I'm
Anyway,
from New Zealand, so I don't always know all of the Aussie traditions, right? Even though I live here.
and I'm American, so
What do
why
we
am
know?
I even talking about Australia? Anyway, so in our house, it's like party pies, but Christmas Eve, 12 o'clock. That's when everything shuts down for us, and we start to celebrate Christmas. And so I want to really make sure that this year I actually have a good, decent break because 2022 has been a bit of a crapshoot at some points, and it's just time to just turn off the computer and the phone. So I'm working towards that, which we have decided should be the subject of this episode of how to avoid that social media burnout over the holidays. So
Mm-hmm,
you can
absolutely.
actually take that break and be away from the computer and the phone as much as possible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, Christmas is coming. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, chances are you're probably taking some kind of holiday or break during this time. Fingers crossed you are anyway. So we want
And
to
you
really talk
should.
to you. Yes, absolutely. We want to talk today about some ways that you can take that time off, but still remain somewhat active on social media if you want to. So, we're going to look at some different tactics that you can use and also dive into some different types of content that you can be sharing during this time. So, I think, first of all, my very first thoughts on this when we spoke about this as an idea to talk about is really first and foremost, if you need a complete break, take it. Sometimes
Yes.
you just need to shut down Instagram, turn off Facebook, whatever platforms you're on, and just not be on there and have a break for your own mental health, for your own sanity. And you know what? Your accounts are not going to completely collapse if you do that. That is perfectly fine to do. I
It
think
is.
we've been trained into this feeling that we need to be on all the time, and it's simply not the case, especially at this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, yeah, the digital world has pretty much ingrained in us in, say, the last decade or so that you have to be always on. And if you are not consistently or constantly posting, you're going to miss an opportunity. It's the fear of missing out that really is
Mm,
playing a role in here. But the thing about taking a break and why that's okay, what we forget is that our brain is in fact an organ. So it's a group of tissues that is just designed to do one function, and obviously that function is to keep us alive, but it's being that muscle, it needs that training in different methods and ways, because it's not just doing one function, it's doing hundreds of functions at once. So taking a break has actually been scientifically proven to help with productivity and recovery, but also to help you even learn new skills quicker. So
Mm.
there was a study that I found, being the nerd that I am, that the National Institute of Health did a research, and they mapped out the brain activity when it comes to learning a new skill. And what they found is that during rest periods, so times when people were taking a break, their brains were rapidly and repeatedly replaying the faster versions of whatever activity they were doing. And in this case, it was practicing typing out code. The more that someone took a break and they actually would replay that activity in their head, the better that they ended up performing. So essentially, when they were taking a break, their brain was still slightly practicing, but it was actually able to better practice, and they were able to learn the skill faster than if they didn't take a break.
Ooh, that's so interesting. Well, and
Yeah.
you know it yourself, right? From personal experience, sometimes stepping away, taking a break, you come back feeling refreshed and energized and ready to tackle that work again. And sometimes, if you let your subconscious do a little bit of the work for you, you come back, you have better ideas, you're more creative,
Mm,
you get a better result from that as well. So I love that. Of course, there's science backing that up, right?
yes.
Which we like.
And
So,
there's so much science into it. Like I could have spent hours looking into it, but like some of the stuff that'll pop up, and we'll put some of these articles in the show notes for sure,
mm,
about how the brain works and why taking a break, even if it's just a day or two or whatnot, how actually critical it is for you to be able to do that.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Okay, so I guess point number one we're making here, if you want to switch off completely, you can do so. It's all good. Now, there may be some reasons why you don't want to switch off completely. Either you don't need that break, you feel okay. I had a holiday a few months ago, so I don't feel as burnt out as maybe I normally would at this time of year. I will still be taking some kind of break, but if you want to keep posting, of course you can do that. Probably this time of year, I would say you can actually wind back your activity though a bit. People
Mm.
are hopefully spending time with friends and family. If you're in Australia or the Southern Hemisphere and it's lovely and sunny, maybe you're out and about doing things outside and not glued to your phone as usual. So you've definitely got that opportunity to wind back your posting a little bit or to kind of change things up. And I think this is a really great opportunity to experiment with some different content types or formats and really to lean into those easy to create formats such as Instagram stories, where you don't need to be in front of your computer, designing something on Canva, putting a lot of time and energy into editing, like you would for some other formats. So I would say this is a great time of year to make things easy for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, and there's Instagram stories. TikTok has got stories as well. Pinterest has got stories. Um, Most platforms have stories, so if you want to go towards that feature, that's a great way of doing it. There's also now Be Real, and platforms are now coming out with their own version. I know TikTok
Mhm.
has. Krishla, have you heard anything from Instagram about?
Yeah, I've seen some
Yeah,
screenshots. It's something that they are testing,
it's test phase. Okay.
or experimenting with
Yeah.
that idea. But I think we can definitely expect to see more
Mm.
of that real, I say in inverted commas, real style of social media for sure. But yeah, I think the biggest benefit of this is it's quick and it's easy to create, which is what
Yeah.
we want at this time of year when you're juggling all the things. And if you're a mum, you're possibly carrying the mental load of buying
Hmm.
presents and creating this magical experience for your kids, for your family members, thinking of presents that other people can buy your children. All of this stuff, right? There's a lot going on. So anything that makes life easier, I think, is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, another and if we're going to be talking about I guess the tactics and such, so if you want to use just Instagram stories, that's one of them, but really leaning in to those easy to create content formats as well. So taking video, say for example, of you doing something day to day within your business or within your work, and using that as almost background footage or b-roll footage,
Mm,
and putting up, a good main point or an idea or some element of your expertise, as a text caption is a really easy way. Some people call this a lazy marketing tactic, but what I would call it is a smart, sustainable marketing tactic, because you can do that over and over again. And that type of content also is very evergreen as well. So it works out, um, so that you can post it on stories, you can post it on your feed, you could post it, in most spots, and it's minimal effort.
yeah, yeah. That
Mm.
B-roll or creating your own kind of stock video
Yes.
is really, really great. And here's the thing, not every one of your posts needs to be incredible, needs to go viral, needs to be the very, very best.
Yeah.
It could be one little video like that that someone hits save on to remind themselves to come back to you next year to book in a consultation or,
Mm.
to buy your course or whatever it is. If that happens from that one little video, it was absolutely worth it. Even if it doesn't perform super well on the social media platform, it's not about that. It's about obviously what happens off of the platform.
Mm.
And you can get those same results with really quick and easy to create content often, as often as you do with the stuff that you've put a lot more time and energy into. So I think
Yeah.
you don't want to
Well,
be afraid of this.
yeah, exactly. Well, dive a bit deeper about the content that you have put a lot more time and effort into. You've worked really hard on that type of content. Sometimes it can take twice as long as, something that you haven't edited, as much as you would like a really good piece of evergreen content. You can reuse that evergreen content at any point. So think about maybe posts that performed really well last year that aren't very dated, or even earlier in this year, and you can reuse that content. So reposting that, scheduling that back into your marketing mix over the holidays. So all you really would then have to end up doing really is, um, probably rewriting the social media caption a little bit,
Hmm.
jazzing that up a touch. Um, Use that evergreen content for sure, especially if it's performed really well. Make it like a greatest hits type of thing at the end of the year if you want. Um, Use what you've got, which I think would lead to another thing about refreshing content as well.
Yes, I'm a big fan of this one. So if you have something, that has performed well, for example, if you went into your Instagram insights and you looked at your top performing posts for the year, and you had shared, say, a static image with a written caption and that performed really, really well, take that written caption and use it as a script for a reel.
Mm,
Or, you can flesh it out a little bit more, make it into a carousel post or something like that. But you can repurpose your content into different formats, into different styles, and with pretty good certainty that it's going to perform well because it's previously performed well. You've got that social proof on it. And again, it's quick and easy to do, which we love.
yeah.
That's something that I recommend doing all year round, but especially at this time of year, if you're looking for some content shortcuts, yeah, I think absolutely use what you've already got. You've already got so much content, I'm sure. If you look to your blog posts, if you look at articles that you may have written yourself or been featured in, even like the frequently asked questions on your website can become social media content that you can share.
Mm,
Yes, frequently asked questions, they might not be the sexiest content, but they are really important for people who are perhaps at that conversion or decision making stage of the customer journey. And by finding out that, yes, you have afterpay available or a payment plan on your course or whatever it is, that might be just the piece of information that they need to decide, okay, yes, I'll buy from you. So again, while it may not go viral and get lots of engagement and, shares on it on the platform, it could be that really vital piece of content that actually helps with your business and your goals off of the platforms.
Yeah, yeah. You're a big proponent of refreshing that content. So sometimes like when we're writing out these episodes and stuff, we'll write something and it sounds good. And then Crystal will just go in and refresh it, and it just sounds so much better. And to us, it resonates much better as well. I'm sure it would resonate much more with the audience too. But taking that skill and honing in on it over the holidays, it must be such a huge time saver for you, Krishla.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you've got, if it was good content a few months ago, it's still good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it may be that you add to it, add some more value to it.
Mm,
I'm thinking of longer form content, such as blog posts or what have you. If you can go back in and refresh those and add more value, whether it be a content upgrade like a checklist or some kind of freebie, you can definitely do that. And then you can
mm,
keep driving people back to that content time and time again. So
yeah.
have a look at what you've already got and what you can be reusing at this time of year.
Yeah. Now, doing this stuff to be like almost minimally showing up versus actively showing up, if you still want to create new content, new social media posts and such at this time of the year, sorry, Krishla, can you hear that scraping?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay,
What was it?
it's my neighbor scraping a shovel on the footpath.
Shut up!
Shut
Shut
up!
up!
I mean, the
It's
problem
like,
is he's the property maintenance guy too, so I can't really tell him. Can you just like not?
yeah.
Um, anyway, that'll be a blooper, I think. Um, yeah. So we hang on. I'll do the clappy bit. Yeah, so we've been talking about that minimally showing up and such, but if you are one of those people that just loves to create, you still want to create new stuff for your potential customers, followers, and fans over the Christmas break, there's still some things that you can do. You can still keep that up. One of them is just winding back your posting activity. Now, you might find that maybe just posting once a week is what you can handle, and that way you do take that personal work-life balance, more towards the personal side over Christmas break. That's fine. Just bear in mind, obviously, that when the less active you become, you might see your stats, decrease a little bit. So if you're very much based on performance, you do need to bear that in mind. The yin comes with the yang with that kind of stuff. And the other thing, though, is scheduling your posts. So scheduling ahead of time, which is what Krishna and I both do for our clients. Or Krishna, you encourage your clients to do that. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It just makes your life that much
Yeah.
easier. And by having things planned out and scheduled, it actually allows you to be spontaneous. As
Yeah.
weird as that kind of sounds, because you have content, you know that you've got X amount of posts going out a week on these days and kind of what they're about. If something else pops up and you think, no, I really want to talk about that, it's newsworthy or it's very timely and relevant now,
Mm.
you know what you've got coming up and you can see where you can swap out a piece of content, if you need to, or
Yeah.
you can just add in that additional piece of content. Depends on, how fixated you are with things like a
Mm.
pretty grid, um, like I am. I know it's not
I'm
fashionable
not.
anymore, but I still love it. I love it. It makes me personally happy, and so I do it. Yeah, and this is the thing: when you're creating your socials, creating content, you need to love what you're doing and do it in a way that you enjoy in order to be able to show up time and time again. But yes,
Mm.
scheduling, it is the absolute best thing you can do for yourself. And it doesn't have to cost money. There are free scheduling tools available. So for Facebook and Instagram, you've got Facebook's Creator Studio. Most platforms now have some kind of scheduling ability, or at least it's in the making.
Yeah.
Um, Pinterest, you can now schedule, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can
In
schedule
advance.
ahead of Yeah, so most platforms now you can schedule ahead of time natively. So LinkedIn has just released this.
Mm,
Um, so natively within the LinkedIn platform, it's not like a separate page like Creator Studio, like Facebook.
yeah.
Um, Pinterest, you can schedule ahead of time, except for idea pins. As far as I know, I have not seen any post scheduler be allowed to post out idea pins. Now, by idea pins, I mean they're exactly like Instagram stories and
Yeah.
exactly like TikToks. They're 60 seconds long, etc.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do an episode just on Pinterest. We've got
Yeah.
perfect guest for it. Um, but the problem is, though, when you have to bear in mind with the holidays coming up, if you are going to schedule ahead of time to the tilt, so I mean to every single channel, so you can shut off that computer, and this is the problem that I'm going to be facing soon. You can only schedule up to a certain period of time in the future.
Right.
So for TikTok, I believe it's still 10 days ahead. Pinterest is about the same amount of time. I don't think that's the case with Facebook and Instagram.
No, I mean, it
No.
depends on which tool you're using as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So there might
I'm
be a
not,
bit of,
yeah, I'm not sure what the limits are with Creator Studio, but I use Later, for example.
yep.
I've never had any issues. I've never
Yeah. So
been
with
stopped.
when I'm saying planning out that content and it's only 10 days ahead of time, that's within the platform itself. So that you don't have to hop onto the platform and then post, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So with a post scheduler, a post scheduling tool, you can schedule ahead of time no matter how long.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that paid tool and you are relying natively on the platform, you need to keep that in mind. So, for example, because I use a third party scheduling tool for, say, Pinterest, and I don't, but I want it like specifically in a specific board or something like that, I'll go natively onto a particular platform. So, I'm going to need to bear that in mind for my clients that the way we post, I might have to be doing it, say, for 10 days ahead of time. I might be doing it closer to Christmas Eve versus,
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and have it
Right.
all sorted, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Psychobabble over. Um, yeah.
As you said, you can still be planning all of your content, even if it's not scheduled. If for some reason you could
Yeah.
only schedule a certain period in advance, you can have it all written and ready to go and manually post that. And it's
Yeah.
still going to feel a lot easier than coming up with the idea, finding an image or creating an
Mm,
image in Canva, writing your captions and all of that.
mm.
That's the part that we don't want to be doing over
Yeah,
this period.
exactly.
If
Exactly.
we can avoid it.
So,
Um,
essentially, what we're saying, I think, is create a plan.
yeah.
Where a lot of us are planners, so create a plan or a list and just go, I've got this and this and this in place, I can just post it. Now, if you have a bit of a chaotic Christmas, like said, I think everyone ever, no, if you have a bit of a chaotic Christmas and you know that you are more than likely not going to be able to have even 5 minutes to sit down and just do that post, just schedule it ahead of time. Just do
Mm.
it. Save yourself that headache, at least for Christmas and for people that celebrate Boxing Day as well. Just do it. And but even in general, just for the sustainability of your marketing and your business, posting or scheduling ahead of time is absolutely key. I believe, but it's one time saver here that is crucial, I think, for this time of year.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about then what we should be posting at this time of year.
Yes.
So
Let's get to the
we've
fun
we,
part
we've
of our
got those
content
options. So
ideas.
yeah, either we can just not post anything, and that's fine, absolutely. And and even if you don't post anything, you go, "Yep, I'm going to take a full break." Yes, as we said before, yep, your performance stats are obviously going to drop down, but don't worry, you can get them back up again really easily. There's a whole lot of hacks on that. We might have to have a separate episode on boosting your performance if you've taken a break. Just off the top of my head, a couple of easy ways to do that is if we're thinking about Instagram, I'm always thinking about Instagram. posting stories using those inbuilt engagement stickers. So things like
Mm,
polls, the slider, questions,
love
things
a
like
good
that.
poll.
So if you've taken a break, come back, start sharing some of that kind of content and getting people to engage with your account again. And that will help bring back up your account performance so that they'll
Mm,
see your other posts if you've taken that break. Of course, and I mean, this is something we should be doing always, but really coming in hot with some really high value content that you know people are going to love. Now, it depends on who your audience is, as to what they find valuable, right? So you're going to know this for your own audience. Valuable content can be, really informative. It can be educational and providing practical tips and tools and things like that. It can also be entertaining content. So if your account is really about making people laugh, then of course you're going to be coming in with that entertaining content. It could be connection driving content as well, and getting people engaging and chatting in the comments. So, again, understanding your customer, client, or follower, depending on who your community is made up of, but getting really clear on who they are and what they want will help you to deliver the kind of content that they find valuable. And you'll know, if you want to go back to episode 1, we actually speak a bit about that and getting to know your customers or clients who will hopefully
mm.
be your followers. So go back, check out that episode if you haven't listened already, and we've got a free download for you as well. Okay, but back to content ideas, because I totally just went on a tangent, didn't I? Yes, tangent queen here. But let's look at some fun content that you can be sharing over this time, because I think, usually it's important that you kind of stick to your niche, the type of content that you want to be known for. But I think we can break all the rules over
Mm,
this time, yeah, and we can start having a bit of fun and including some more light-hearted, relatable content that really humanizes your brand.
yeah,
It just shows people what you're doing and you're kind of
yeah.
behind the scenes. So,
Yeah, especially since, say, Black Friday has just passed at the time of recording this episode. We are going to get bombarded by ads, products, shopping, 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 shopping. We're going to be tired of it by Christmas. So get a little bit personable and switch it up a little bit and show your fun holiday side.
yeah,
Mm.
100%. So some things I think that are kind of fun to do with this. And it depends, on what you're comfortable with as to how much of your personal life you choose to show. That's a decision that you can make for you and your business and your family. But you can share, stories talking about your holiday plans, showing you packing for a fun holiday, sharing your pets, sharing your family, sort of all that kind of fun behind the scenes, personal life content. Now, if you are planning a holiday, just make sure that you don't say exactly, when you're leaving and that your house is going to be empty or anything like that, because you could actually void your insurance if, for example, you were burgled while you were away. So just don't go giving too much away there. That's a very important social media safety tip, of course, as well. Um, in terms of your business and I guess showing a little bit of behind the scenes there, you can show things like your office Christmas party, if that's appropriate, what you've got sort of coming up for the next year. So if you can show us some sneak peeks of some products or services, we'll talk about those that are coming soon. That's, I think going to be really interesting for your followers. You can share your goals, your plans, your wishes for the coming year. What else would you recommend for this time, Clem?
I would almost do like a best of.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
and showing like almost your greatest hits that has become a little bit popular the last like 2 years on TikTok, is showing almost your greatest hits, or even doing like um self-reflection as well,
Mm-hmm.
like what you have learned this year on your business journey or your career journey, that sort of thing. um your wish list, especially if you can tie it into your business or your expertise, like this is the stuff that I would love to see under my tree, or these are books that I recommend, these are movies that I recommend. Like we were talking about our Christmas movie marathon, and turns out we both start with Die Hard
Yeah.
because
Of
that is
course.
a hill we are willing to die on. That Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie as well.
They all are.
So
All of them.
yeah, so showing that kind of stuff, like your Christmas traditions, your favorite products, favorite cocktails, that sort of thing. But
Mm.
then even also like Christmas hacks that you do within your business that make your business life easier, that might help other business owners get to know you a little bit better too, and network as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and Christmas hacks for your business, but also for your personal life. So I don't
Yes.
know about you, but I am obsessed with watching the gift wrapping
Mm-hmm.
videos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are so nice. And then I try and do it myself, and it doesn't end up quite as nice looking, but still, I really enjoy that content. Yeah. And of course,
Yeah.
it's relevant because we're all wrapping presents at this time of year. But if you've got some great hacks or things that you use in your home life, share them, yeah, because it might be
Yeah.
useful. And it's a great conversation starter too. So I think sometimes we forget about that, putting that social element back into social media, but especially for stories. This is why I love stories so much. And again, I'm thinking of Instagram stories, but as you mentioned before, there are stories on every platform. But sharing something like that, here's the recipe that you make every year, and here's what you do, and how everybody loves it. People will slide into your DMs and say, oh, we make something similar, or can I have the recipe, or you can have a bit of a
Mm.
chat about it. It's just a really nice way to connect with your audience who are real people, remember?
Yeah.
So they're going to really enjoy that. Christmas cocktails or mocktails, like that's a really fun one to share. If you do something unique or interesting that you know your audience is going to enjoy. Of course, if you are still actively selling during this time, then you want to be sharing any promotions or sales. If you do a Boxing Day sale, start talking about that now. Get people really hyped up and maybe show some of the things that are going to be on sale in advance. But again, with all of these ideas, I think we really want to be doing them in an easy way. So doing those stories rather than, a highly edited reel. Or you could do a nice simple reel where you're simply pairing some Christmas music. And look, there's lots of Christmas tunes that are trending at the moment. Pair those with just some product images. You can use an image as a reel. You don't need
Mm.
to upload a video. So things like that, like make it easy on yourself. And if you want to, after this holiday period has passed, you can always remove them from your main Instagram grid and just have them over on Reels. If it's something that's
Mm.
timely and you don't want to have on your feed all of the time, or if it's over on Facebook, you can take it down later if it's no longer relevant. But just keep it really simple for yourself. We spoke about one other idea earlier, and a nice way of kind of giving back to your community is to share other accounts that you love. So, especially if you're
Yes.
shopping small, you've purchased from a small business, show what you've purchased. If it's not
Mm.
going to give away, if it's not going to be a spoiler, if your family aren't, on TikTok or Instagram, but show what you have purchased. Tag that small business in your story, in your reel, and encourage other people to shop small and support small business owners, because I know many of us are doing it tough at the moment. The last few years have been a struggle.
Yeah.
So if you're able to, give them a shout out and share the love, I think that's great content, but it's also about helping out someone else, which, is the Christmas spirit, right?
Yeah, I'm doing that exact idea for someone who shall not be named because he's in
Ooh,
the other room while we're recording this. But it
exciting,
was it was an
exciting.
account, yeah, it was an account that I found on TikTok, and it was just the perfect gift. So I've already like filmed everything to just get it ready for Christmas to, show up and tag them, etc. So um Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. And that way you can have a little bit of fun as well. And even doing a shout out and saying, hey, I need help finding a gift for this person. You know, you might start to get small businesses coming in and tag going, I've got the perfect idea. You should try this. My gift will complement this one. It'll be a really good engagement driver.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Mm,
So while it's a great
it's
thing
all
to
about
do,
networking.
you can also improve your account performance. Yeah.
Yes.
Good, one stone, win-win. Awesome.
Yep.
And, and even giving your clients or customers shout outs as well, sharing their
Mm,
content, just going over and loving up their posts. Yeah. We all
yeah.
want engagement on our own content. Remember to give it back. Yeah. Remember to go and engage on other people's contents, like, comment,
Yep.
share, save, all of that good stuff to help out their accounts as well.
That's Yeah, that's networking at the core, which is really what your social media platforms are there for, is for you to be able to network in a digital way. And so why not show the love? But Crystal, you've got all of these ideas on a blog, don't you?
Yes, well, and a few more slightly different ones as well. Yeah, so if you
Mm.
want some more ideas of the kind of content you can be sharing during the holiday season, head on over to my blog, shallwesocial.com.au/blogs. We'll link it here in the show notes. I've always wanted to say that. Uh, it's
You
amazing.
have, I think, like
Um,
3 times now. It's amazing.
no, it's in the show notes. It's in the show notes. But yeah, head on over there. There are some more ideas there that you can use, as many
Mm.
or as few as you want to, but for your holiday socials.
Yeah. So, Krishna, I went off on a tangent at the beginning of this episode, and I never actually asked you what you're doing for Christmas.
Oh, yes. Well, um, in terms of my business, I will be officially shutting down on Friday the 16th. I mean, I'll probably still be doing some work that following week, but school finishes on the 20th. So I will then have children home. So it's not always easy to work. Um, we'll be here in Melbourne for Christmas. So, yeah, I plan to do a little bit of posting, but I'm really going to pull back
Mm.
and use some of these tactics that we've actually spoken about today. So, I'm going to be repurposing some content. I'm going to be sharing some more behind the scenes and sort of lifestyle brand humanizing kind of content. And if I don't feel like posting, I'm just not going to. Yeah, I'm going to take
Yeah.
a break if I feel like
Take
it.
it
Yeah, enjoy a much earned cocktail or
easy.
10. And just yeah, enjoy the sun, which will hopefully be out.
Yeah.
Fingers
Yeah,
crossed,
fingers
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 crossed.
crossed we don't have a rainy Christmas this year.
I know,
Um,
I know.
but yeah, I think take a page out of our books where we are taking it easy. There's plenty of things to stress about over this break, but social media should not be one of them.
No
Period.
way.
It's in the end it's in the end, yes, we think of it as such an important part of our business, and sometimes it may seem like our life revolves around it, but it really in the end is should not be one of those priorities at this time of year. So if you want to take a total break, do it. Nobody is stopping you. Your brain will probably thank you. Your whole body will probably thank you, and you'll come back with a ton of new ideas, inspired, and just ready to hit the ground running. And yeah, you can use this time to plan for next year. So doing scheduling out some of those customer research calls. You can check out our previous episode to learn more about how understanding your customer is a must-have element for social media success. And we also happen to have a free download on there of a list of interview questions that you can use so you don't even have to actually come up with them. And then, as you're taking it easy, just enjoy that well-earned cocktail. So I think that's going to wrap up this episode, Krishla.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess whatever time of year you're listening to this, if you're listening to this in December when it drops, have a great and excellent holiday, and enjoy that cocktail. We're all about the cocktails here
Yeah.
at Mad Marketing Moms, obviously.
100%.
But yeah, if hopefully this episode will even help you take a break when it's not the holidays and when you just need to take that time away from the phone and from the computer. And yeah, use these tips to help you get there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
Alrighty.
until next time, stay hashtag fabulous.
Oh,
We
is
still don't have
that
a good
is that
one.
going to be the close off of this
No,
episode? So last time it was don't go chasing waterfalls,
I
and
know,
now
I
it's
know.
hashtag stay excellent.
Do come and engage with us over the holiday period or at any time that you're listening to this. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Mad Marketing Mums. We'd like to hear your thoughts on the episode and maybe let us know your favourite cocktail. Is
Yeah,
it a
what's
Negroni Spagliato with
with
Prosecco in
prosecco
it?
in it?
Yeah,
What's your drink of choice?
yeah. Okay, until next time, take care, have a great holiday, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.